I get lots of questions about how do you find cast shadows and how do you create the cast shadows. Well, I have a couple suggestions that just might help with that. Now, a cast shadow is a shadow that is actually cast by an object that is blocking the light. So if we have an object, say, pretend this cylinder is a can, and this cylinder is between the light source and something else, it's going to cast a shadow on that something else. So the problem is how to find that. Well, the cast shadow is going to do all kinds of things depending. They might be located on the surface of an image, or they might be located on the wall, on the floor, it might be just about anywhere. But I want to give you a couple of pointers to show you what to look for. Usually that's all you need, is just to know what to look for cast shadows. All right, the first thing is you need to locate where the light source is, the position of the light source. Now let's assume that this is a can. Now if the light source is directly above it, like that, well, you're going to have very little cast shadow. I'm going to do just a little bit of something here, just to sort of give you an image to follow. So if the light source is directly above, like that, you won't really see very much cast shadow. You'll sort of see something like this. Depending on how far, or depending on how far away the light source is, but you might not see very much at all. Now, if that light source begins to be located over to the right of the object or over to the left of the object, other things happen. In other words, wherever that light source is going to affect how that cast shadow appears. So if the light source, I'm going to give you very simple, this is very simple way to find the light source, and then we'll get a little more complex. If the light source, if this is sitting here, and if the light source, so let's say the sun, is maybe about right over there, I locate that, and then when I locate that, I align it with the edge of the image like that, and that shows me the angle of the cast shadow. But it also shows me wherever the horizontal is of where the image is sitting, that's where the cast shadow is falling. So it's going to also show me where the cast shadow ends right here. So let's say if the light source is right over there, it's hitting the cast shadow, I can align a straight object with the edge of the image and then point it directly towards the light source, and it shows me there that the cast shadow will end right here. You can actually measure that when you're looking at an object and you're looking at the light source. You can actually measure that. So when you locate the position of the light source, that's number one. Then you find the angle created by the light source and the top of the image. That's what I just did there. Now the next thing, the width of this cast shadow is going to depend upon where you are. If you are directly aligned with it, it might be very narrow. If you are standing above it, or maybe not standing, wherever, floating above it, it's going to be wider. If you're below it, it's going to be wider. So where you are is going to depend where that cast shadow is, where it's located. Now, the way to find that is to look at the image and see where does the cast shadow actually touch the image. And we're imagining things here. So the cast shadow might be touching the image like right here, let's say. If it's aligned like that, then we look for where the cast shadow would end right over here. And that also depends upon where you are, how much of it you see over here. So you might have a cast shadow that would be something like this. So it ends where the light source is aligned with the image, or where the light source is aligned with the image. That's where it ends. And then you look at where it's placed on the object in order to find how wide it is, or where it's touching. So they just kind of block in a little bit right here, just to give you that image. If the light source is behind the image, the cast shadow is going to be in front of the image. Of course, if the light source is on this side, the cast shadow is going to be here, like that. So I want to give you just an exercise that you can do to actually study cast shadows using these 3 ways of finding it. If you study cast shadows with a very simple image, then that informs you as to what to look for, so that then you will be able to place cast shadows in a more complex image. So everybody knows about paper towels, at least most folks know about paper towels. On a sunny day, now I'm speaking of the sun here. A light source can be the sun, light source could be a light on the inside, but let's use this as the sun, because in landscape the cast shadow sometimes can get wacky if you're not careful where you locate them. Alright, on a sunny day, find a table or something on the outside where you don't have anything blocking the sun. Take a roll of paper towels out there, place the paper towel on your table. Then, first of all, just draw a little diagram or a little line drawing of the image of the paper towel. Then take a straight line. You could actually, your finger's probably not long enough, so a paintbrush or a skewer or something that's a straight edge, and then hold it up like this and align the outside edge of your image with the light source, and then pull it down and look at where it actually ends, and you'll see what I'm talking about there. You then move yourself around the image, because if you're standing directly in front of the light source like this, then that's going to influence the cast shadow. It's going to cause the cast shadow to be in front of you. As you move around the image, you'll see that cast shadow change. So try to do a study that is with you moving around the image, so that the sun is on one side, then continue to move around the image, actually so that you are behind or you're between the image and the sun. Study that, then move on to the other side. Then do another set of studies where you reposition your eye level, where you sit down or you maybe sit on the ground and see what happens to the width of the cast shadow. Where does the cast shadow actually appear on the image when you change your eye level, when you go up or you go down. So if you will do those things, I can't do it all for you. I can give you all kinds of demonstration, but that doesn't really work until you actually get involved. So if you will do those things just with a simple paper towel roll, you're going to discover how to look for cast shadows, how to place them, and it's going to make it a lot easier. So in a simple review, locate the position of the light source, find the angle created by the light source and the top of the image, and then locate where the edges of the cast shadow actually touch the image. Take your staff through a number of studies like that. You'll be an expert. Hope you enjoyed this quick tip. If you have questions or a suggestion for a quick tip, leave us a comment right down here in the YouTube comment box. And take a trip over to DianneMize.com and look at all the things we have there for you, including full-length video tutorials. And while you're there, sign up for our newsletter so you'll always be informed of our latest adventures. And thanks for watching.